Konnichiwa. In this video, we're going to learn a little bit more about suru verbs, what they are, and how they're used. So the suru verb that we learn in this lesson is benkyou suru. I'm going to move up here and be Tobira sensei for a little bit. So benkyou suru, to study. And a suru verb is, like benkyou suru, consists of a noun and the verb suru, right? To do. So with benkyou suru, we have the noun benkyou, which means studies, and then the verb suru, to do. So to do studies, literally, but benkyou suru, to study, right, is the meaning there. So for most suru verbs, the noun portion is either a kanji compound word or an English origin word. So by kanji compound words, for instance, there's things like soji suru, to clean, ryori suru, to cook, right? And the reason these are called kanji compound word is because actually soji, ryori are written in two kanji compounds, right? So they're made up using these Chinese characters. Benkyou suru is actually also one of those. So it's written using these two Chinese characters. So these are the kanji compound words before suru. The other option is English origin words. So arubaito suru, meiru suru. So in the textbook it says English origin words. I also use that here, but actually they're not all English. They're words of foreign origin. So meiru suru is obviously the English email, to do mail, to do email, right? So to email someone, meiru suru. Arubaito suru is actually from German, Arbeit, which means work. And that came to mean to do a part-time job. So arubaito is a part-time job. Suru, to do a part-time job, becomes arubaito suru, to work part-time, right? So these are the two main types of suru verbs. So since these are made up of a noun and the verb suru compounded together, we can actually rephrase them by turning the noun portion into the actual grammatical object of the verb suru. And because it's the direct object, we would mark it with o. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that we can say benkyou suru, to study, or benkyou suru with the object marker in here, literally to do studies, but meaning basically the same thing, to study, right? So in one, benkyou is part of the suru verb benkyou suru. This is just compounded together as one word. Whereas in two, benkyou is an independent noun. It's marked as the direct object of suru, the verb suru, by the particle o, right? So with these rephrases, we have to think about things when we want to have other objects. So when you have a direct object with a suru verb, so noun one o, noun two suru, it can be rephrased as noun one no, noun two o suru. Okay, that's hard to understand without an example. So what I mean is, Nihongo o benkyou suru, to study Japanese, right? Here we just have the compound verb benkyou suru with a direct object, Nihongo o. Now, if we want to rephrase benkyou suru as benkyou o suru, then it becomes Nihongo no benkyou o suru. So literally do the study of Japanese. But Nihongo o benkyou suru, Nihongo no benkyou o suru, both mean pretty much the same thing, slight nuance and difference. So you can note from this that you can't use more than one o with a single verb, right? So, watashi wa benkyou shimasu, I study. Watashi wa benkyou o shimasu. Both of these are fine. One is just a rephrasing of the other. But, watashi wa nihongo o benkyou shimasu, I study Japanese. That's fine. Watashi wa nihongo o benkyou o shimasu. That doesn't work, right? You can only have one object per verb. We have one verb here. That verb is shimasu, but two objects, benkyou o, nihongo o. That doesn't work. So we need to combine them into one noun phrase using no. Watashi wa nihongo no benkyou o shimasu. Right? So that is just a little note about how using suru verbs, how you can rephrase them in different ways. And when you do, you need to be careful with the particles. So for now, we're just going to be using benkyou suru or benkyou o suru, but in future lessons, we'll have a variety of different other suru verbs. So make sure you remember this information and use it with them as well. Okay, that's all for this video. Until next time, じゃあまた。